Hello, Team Kopish. It's Spencer here. This is my debut video. Hope y'all are good. Where do I begin? I believe that we should have won that game. I only managed to catch the second half. Didn't see the first half, but I think we should have. We should have won that game. And the goals that Man City scored were lucky goals for them and unlucky goals to concede for us. This comes to show that we really do miss Thiago, man. Ever since Thiago went out injured, it seems like there's a lack of, control in our midfield. I never really appreciated Thiago's defensive contribution to the side. But now I see how important he was just overall in our midfield. And we really need to stop leaking goals because we need to get the title this year. But anyway, a point is a point against City. We move on, and I hope that as time goes on, we can really get a grip on our whole form as a team. And FSG need to refurbish the squad. Thank you.
How you going, Team Kopish? What a game, especially the second half. That was so end to end. But the first half, it was like watching a horror movie, and Man City being the monster, I'm like covering my eyes. They're going to come out and grab a goal. But thanks to our savior, Ali, he made quite a big saves, guys. He literally saved the first half all by himself. And then we go into the break. Then from during the break, I don't know what Klopp must have told to the guys, but it clearly worked. You could see that there was a fire and passion, and we were matching up to City's pace. We were exchanging punches, and the two standout players from our squad clearly was Mo Salah and Alisson. The rest of the guys, some were okay, and then few of our dependable players, yeah, they did not have their best game. But all in all, we win together, we lose together, we grab a point together, right? That's the good thing about our team. It is a proper team. They play like one. One thing that I was thinking about is with our first team squad, I feel like they are playing way too often, and I don't see proper substitutions being made. When the season began, we could see changes, right? But recently, for the past 2 weeks, I haven't been seeing changes as much. Problem with that is we have Trent, who is injured. We have Thiago, who is injured. So it needs to be managed better. And I think Klopp will learn, Like, I feel like Klopp is someone who learns from his mistakes, especially the ones he made in the past season. And I really hope he does something about this, In Premier League, we only get 3 substitutions. So why not use them? Make all 3 substitutions per game. And when it comes to the other cups, CL, Carabao, make use of the 5 substitutions. That way, we don't have much rustiness in our squad. When Gomez came on for Millie, he did not get any time to settle in, and he kind of looked rusty, even though he got a bit of game time against Porto, But these cameos, I feel like they're just not enough. Let Gomez maybe play one half, a proper half. and then ease him back into a full game, like a full match game. Overall, I would take more positives out of this game rather than negatives. We still came out with a point. We could have won it, but so could have City. And I'm happy getting a point and not losing to the two title contenders, Chelsea and City. So yeah, on the flip side, these are home games. So what if we had these sort of, like, the game against Chelsea and the game against City, if we came out with that sort of result at their home, we would be more satisfied. Let's be honest, right? At Stamford Bridge and at Etihad, if we came out with such a game. But let's see now. We what happens for the rest of the season. Yes, better squad management needs to happen. A lot of people say that Klopp likes a tight knit, small squad. So then we should make use of these guys. Um, give them game time. Give Origi, Ox, Keita, even Nico Williams. Like, let Nico play the Carabao Cup games. Things like that. Only then we can better manage our teams, and when they come on, we as fans as well, we can be confident. We can be like, yeah, he had a good performance. For example, with Curtis Jones, if Curtis Jones did not play against Porto, and also if Curtis Jones did not play the first half against Brentford, we would have been a bit we wouldn't be that confident about starting Curtis Jones directly against City, right? The only reason we were confident is because he had those game time and he looked good at during those games. So yeah, I'm glad that we are having a break now, the international break, and hopefully by once we are back against Watford, we have our first team squad, and we go on from there.
What's up, guys? Big up Team Kopish, big up Math, Judgy, and Calm as always. Yeah, Liverpool 2, Man City 2 after yesterday's draw. Now, I think a lot of people would say that it was a pretty good draw on the lines of that. I definitely think it is a good draw on the lines after yesterday what happened, because I think there were times where we got lucky yesterday, especially in that first half. I mean, I don't know about you, but that was one of the worst first halves of a home performance with fans I've seen at Anfield for a very, very long time, and it just wasn't like us. And we couldn't even pass the ball to anyone at that stage. It was just incredible. But I think Klopp must have said something in at half time to actually cheer them up so hard that actually go out and actually play in that second half and give something to the fans. You know what I mean? It was hard for me to see if we would improve in the second half, but fair play to the lads. I mean, they got up and ready for it, I must say, and fair play to them. I mean, Mane scores a brilliant goal. Fair play to Mo Salah for getting an assist for him as well. So I was getting mad with the first goal, but then City equalised, and I think Milner was getting targeted every time he was down that right back. I think we were all cheering for him to get off. I think we were all cheering for Klopp to bring on Gomez at right back, but then Salah scores one of the best goals I've ever seen he's scored at this club so far. I mean, it's one of the best goals he's ever scored, and he's on form at Liverpool at the moment. And but soon after that, Man City made it 2-2, and I just thought it was going to be really, really hard for us to get back into that game, into the lead again. But for me, I'd take the draw, but I don't want to see these constant draws going forward if we want to actually win the league going forward. So we need to learn from our mistakes, not to cost so many games if we actually want to win the league. So that's my thoughts on the game. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next Team Kopish review. Thank you.
Oh my word, what have I just watched? Liverpool, Manchester City has finished 2-2. Big up to Team Kopish for allowing me to come back on the channel. Big up to you guys. And remember, if you're not subscribed to Team Kopish, guys, make sure you are. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Oh my god, man. what was that game of football? It was absolutely mad for the neutral, but whether that's a point gained or 2 points lost, to be fair, because I think there's arguments either way. I'll break it down for the first half. I think we were shocking first half. There was no way we deserved to go into that half-time 0-0. You know, City were dominant. You know, they played that first 20 minutes well. They knew that we were going to start off the blocks, but we didn't actually have that energy. We didn't have that hunger towards the start of the game. Look, we grew into the game, and so did City. City dropped deep. They come out of their shell a little bit, was testing our keeper, Alisson, a few times, and was really unlucky not to go into half-time City with a few goals in front. But the day, I think, although City were creating a lot of chances, they were testing the keeper, they were missing a lot of chances as well. They just weren't clinical enough in the first half, City, so we got away with it. But then the second half comes and we look a different breed. We look braver. We look courageous going into challenges. And, you know, you could sense that Anfield energy was starting to pick up. Our momentum was starting to be with that Liverpool team. And Mo Salah, I am saying it on here now, he's the best player in the world right now. I think that's common knowledge. Name one player at the moment who is better in world football than Mo Salah. I'll wait. Absolutely sensational what he does to drive the ball forward. Unleash Mane coming in from that inverted run, and brilliant finish against Ederson. And look, the thing that I've learned over the past week is that we need to make sure that we need to iron out that whole defensive frailties. As soon as we score, we seem to concede. We need to get that out of our game immediately, and that's what happened. City went and scored. It was Foden with it. Milner tried closing Foden down, but it was what City deserved. I mean, we have no complaints at the end of the day because that goal was coming. Maybe they didn't deserve it in that second half, but they definitely deserved them 2 goals for their efforts in the first half, in my opinion. They scored that goal, and then Mo Salah with a touch of world class. It was unbelievable. The tiki-taka, reminiscent of the first season where he just dribbled through the whole Spurs team. But this is no Spurs team. This is Manchester City, the champions of England. He walked past Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, and I think it was De Bruyne. Then he went past Laporte. Then he had the audacity to shoot with his weak foot past Ederson, and it come off the post. And then the celebration was just absolutely cold. What a goal Mo Salah is. What an absolute legend. And, you know, unfortunately, as Liverpool fans, we had to succumb to the loss of Roger Hunt. And obviously, unfortunately, we couldn't get the win for him today. But I think Mo Salah is definitely in that bracket player. I don't think anyone can have that argument. His goal involvement since he's been at the club, 137, is absolutely insane, mate. He's a machine. On then, De Bruyne had, you know, that goal, and he was unlucky because I thought Alisson had it covered, but it is what it is. I'm gutted a little bit because the fact that, you know, we scored 2 goals, and every time we were leading, we should have kept on to it. We should have shut City down, and we shouldn't have let them play. But that's just credit to what Pep Guardiola's implemented since he's been at the club. But it is what it is. My viewers' review for the 2-2 international break. Yay. And now hopefully it goes as quick as possible. We are back to club action. But big up to Team Kopish. Big up to the viewers who have stayed to watch the end of my clip. Please subscribe to my channel as well, Klopp Talk TV. It doesn't take 10 seconds out of your day to hit that subscribe button to my channel if you're interested in the content that I do. Liverpool content as always. But enjoy your week. Enjoy your day. And I will speak to you very soon, right?
Yes, Kopish, how's it going? So Liverpool 2, Manchester City 2. And I gotta say, I've got mixed feelings on this game just the morning after. You know, it was a great spectacle for the neutral and stuff like this. And yes, it's the 2 best Premier League teams, or arguably the 2 best Premier League teams, going at it, hammer and tong, you know, 50-50. What a battle, what a show for the Premier League. You know, 2 teams that have been dominating for the past few years, you know, spectacular points total, all of this stuff, the rivalry, all of this stuff. Yes, brilliant, great to see. But as a Liverpool fan, as a fan that is primarily concentrated on your own club's success and your own club winning matches and winning points, I honestly, genuinely, obviously, I would have easily taken the scrappiest 1-0 victory of all time ahead of this great spectacle that everyone is reveling about and all of this stuff. I mean, yeah, it was a good game. And the first off, we know was a bit dodgy. It really was. I mean, I think the pressure got to us. I think there was a bit of nervousness in the midfield, defense and attack. They weren't clicking. There was no clicking in the first half. And City, you know, they do what they do. They open up the pitch. They pass nicely. They create their chances. So I'm very happy we got into half-time level. And that was very important because it meant that, you know, we could go again in the second half. And that's what we did. The quality drastically improved. The control of the midfield improved. And the genius of Mohamed Salah came to fruition once again. Genuinely, he is having one of his best seasons in a Liverpool shirt. Arguably his best, maybe. We'll see what's to come. Wow, honestly, I don't think he gets enough credit. I don't give him enough credit. I know for a fact. I'm able to admit that. And I think it's important to admit where you don't, or, you know, your frailties as a fan. What do you do wrong? What do you do right? But Salah probably doesn't get enough credit. That was a majestic performance. His start to the season has been nothing short of sensational. Every game, you go into every game and you know Salah is going to do something. He doesn't need to play well every game. He doesn't need to. You know he's going to score. You know he's going to conjure up something. You know he's going to make that pass, make that chance, get in that right position and score a goal. That's what makes him a genius, genuinely. And that's what you've got to do on the football pitch. And that was accompanied with a spectacular all-round performance as well. 100% the man of the match. And yeah, I mean, I'm just really disappointed because the manner in which we conceded some of the goals was very disappointing. Obviously, you can't really do much about a deflection. Matip had a good game, I thought, so there's no need to go in on Matip. It's unlucky, and I think we could have done better for the first goal. I think Jesus was allowed to float into the middle a bit too easily, and Foden probably given a bit too much space. Milner had a tough game, but you know, he wasn't that bad. I think he showed, you know, some good character, some good performance, some good strength in the game. But obviously, like, it's going to be a battle. He's not a right back. He's 35, 36 years old. And you know, the quality of Manchester City's attack, you know, is very well known. So it was always going to be a tough game. Obviously, I'm very, very glad to see my man Sadio Mane score again. He is scoring quite a bit now, and his performance wasn't bad at all. And very clinical. Yeah, he wasn't clinical against Leeds when we won 3-0, but today he was. And I think people should just get off, take a bit of pressure off our attack, you know. They're doing well. We're scoring some goals. There's a nice flow about our play. They're doing good. We're doing good. I just think we need to address the control of the midfield without Thiago. That's something we need to get going, because Thiago offers that control, that tempo, that ball retention, that threaded pass. I think Curtis Jones perhaps looked a bit out of his depth today. Henderson and Fabinho, obviously, we've seen them both play better. And that leads to Fabinho's chance. I genuinely think if that fell to anyone else, that probably would have gone in. I know it's easy to say it. That's just Fabinho probably didn't need to take the touch. Maybe, fine, maybe not anyone else, but an attacker probably would have taken that first time and maybe would have had a better touch, because the touch was slightly backwards. So gave Rodri a bit of time. But, you know, I think we've seen Fabinho and Henderson play better, and Curtis Jones obviously was much better in midweek. So yeah, it's 2-2, and I think the draw wouldn't be a bad result if we had beaten Brentford, which is what I was going to say last week. The Brentford game was really, really annoying. The manner in which we conceded the goals was just really, really frustrating. I mean, pretty much all the goals were pretty much the same. You know, this chasm in the penalty area, lack of clearing, lack of control in the box, in our defensive areas. But yeah, that was last week. But just obviously, the Brentford game would have given us a buffer. But now we're right in the mix, and we know every point counts. You know, we don't want to fall behind. We've got Watford coming up. And then we've got Manchester United, I believe, or maybe it's a home game. I can't fully remember, but Watford away is an absolutely massive, massive match. They just sacked their manager, so you know, we don't know whether they're going to have a new manager bounce. We don't know whether they're going to be a bit structurally weak. Let's just check. Yeah, we do have. Yeah, Watford, Atletico, then Man U. Oh my word, that's going to be tough. Premier League fixtures are the priority. We're right in the mix now. Chelsea, United, City, Liverpool. it's us four for the title. I think people know that. People are aware of that. It's going to be difficult. I just hope and pray Thiago and Trent can get fit. And yeah, we can go again. Look, the reality is we drew. It was a great spectacle. We know the areas we can improve. We know the areas where we perhaps should have done better. But it's a point. I'm still going to be annoyed about it because I don't want to ever see Liverpool drop points regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the context. But it is what it is. So yeah, up the Reds. It's all right. It's an all right start to the season. We know it's good. Let's just keep going. No injuries on the international break. This Watford game is huge. Then Manchester United away, which I feel, again, it's just on paper, it feels like it could be a draw, but we got to start beating these our rivals. Do you know what I mean? I think the more points you drop in these early stages, the more pressure it puts later on down the line. Chelsea have some easy fixtures coming up. But yeah, I'll stop it there. Great game to watch. Fantastic quality from Salah and Mane. Disappointing to not get the win. But yeah, up the Reds. We keep going. You'll never walk alone.
Yes, big up Kopish for having me on today. Man City, Liverpool 2-2. In the end, fair result, I'd say, because we were very poor first half. We were very poor. James Milner didn't look good at all. And probably definitely should have been sent off. Look, that's what happens when you're playing, like 37-year-old, whatever. We need a backup right back, that's what it shows. But yeah, first half we weren't great at all. City dominated. And we were very lucky to be going into the break level, if I'm being completely honest. But second half, we were a lot better. I don't know what Klopp did in that dressing room at half time, but it worked. We came out a lot better. Obviously, Mane scored. And I think, the draw feels worse because we took the lead twice. It always does. The fact that we took the lead twice makes us feel a bit more hard run by, but, it's still a draw. It's not a bad result, and it is the fair result, because, let's be honest, we were very, very poor in that first half. But yeah, Mane scores, brilliant assist from Salah, a nice finish, and then Foden, again, another good finish from him. He seems to be scoring quite a lot at Anfield in the times he's played. And then Salah, just unbelievable. Is there a better player in the world at the minute on current form than Mohamed Salah? People say De Bruyne, not De Bruyne, not mind about. People say Lewandowski. But I think, Salah's doing it in the most competitive league in the world. At the minute, I'd say, based on current form, he is one of the best in the world. If not he is so good at the minute. And not just at the minute, I keep saying at the minute, he is such a good player. Like, he is. People say, he's not better than Hazard. I think he's proven it every game. Every game he's proven himself. He's scoring goals. You can rely on him to score. People say, we don't have that proper striker. We've got him. And I would argue we do need a striker in January. In next summer. I'd say we go out and get a striker. But, he can get me. You can more or less Salah score in every game. When most of the time going into a game, you would be safe to put your money on Salah scoring. And obviously it's not going to happen every game because it doesn't. That's football. You're not going to get him scoring every single game. But, in the majority of the games he plays, he will get a goal. And he seemed very creative as well. That's the other thing. People say he's just a finisher. In that game, most of our chances were being created somehow by Salah, whether it be him playing that final ball or whether him playing a very creative pass somewhere, down the line. But he's unbelievable. People need to understand. People say one season wonder. If you're still saying Salah is a one season wonder, then football is not the sport for you, alright? That's that. If you still think Mo Salah is a one season wonder, and I know there should be a minuscule of people who will still argue that he isn't good. If that's you, don't talk to me. But back to the performance. Yeah, look, I've said it before. I think it was a fair result. I'm obviously disappointed because of the, we went ahead and then they equalised. When we go ahead twice, you want to win, and that is something that we need to, look at, because that's happened twice now. It happened with Brentford. We went ahead twice, and just didn't see it out. But look, I think it's just one of them things. I think, you know, I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, look, the draw's a brilliant result. You know, I'm buzzing with the draw. But then I don't want to be one of these who's saying, worse than what, this is like the worst thing we could have asked for, blah, blah, all negative, because there is a lot of positives to take. And let's not forget, these are the champions we're playing. And look, it showed, if anything, in that game how fine the margins are between us and City. Like, this game was one of the best games, like, in terms of, for a neutral, it must have been one of the best games to watch. But the margins between us and City, and I think it will go down to us and City again, are so fine. That Fabinho chance at the end, you know, we've seen it happen before. That one, you know, where it was 11 millimetres from going over the line, and that ends up stopping us winning the league. I think these games between us and City, it's so fun, because that second half, it was just goal and then reply, goal and reply. I think it'll go down to the wire between Liverpool and City. Maybe Chelsea as well at the minute. And maybe just because I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm, you know, sort of saying United are out of it. But it's more to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The reason I'd say United are, I wouldn't include them. But they could prove me wrong, you know. They could prove me wrong. But, you know, when you've got... But the two, I think Liverpool and City, and probably Chelsea as well, because, you know, they've got the strong side. And they've got Thomas Tuchel, who's a brilliant manager. But when I just look at Liverpool and City, I think these two teams are so close. And people say, oh, well, look at the point gap from last season. Look, I only use that injury excuse, but look, we had last season was a write-off, yeah. We still managed to get third, but look, we had these problems. I'm just looking forward to having a good title race, to be honest with you. I'm hoping Liverpool can go on to do it, and I think we do have it in us to go on and do it. But it is so close between the two teams, and it just showed me in that game how close it was. And look, City were solid defensively. City were very solid defensively. I thought Cancelo had a brilliant game. Likewise for us, I thought João Matip had a really good game. And I just think two strong teams. Two very, very strong teams. I think it's definitely a better result for them than it is to us. Obviously, coming to Anfield, getting the point, it is a better result for them. But, you know, we're second in the league now. Obviously, Chelsea's still top because we drew, but then, you know, there's still games to play and stuff, and it's still very early doors, but Chelsea top, us second, then I think City just behind on goal difference. But going into this stupid international break now, we're in an alright position. Look, it is what it is. Salah is an unbelievable player. I've been Theods. Hope you have enjoyed my little clip. Big up to Kopish for including me. Go subscribe to Kopish down below, and go subscribe to my channel, Theods LFC. And yeah, I'll see you all later.